Good morning. This is a vibrant and busy time at First UU. So before we formally begin our worship service, we invite you to lend your attention to a few brief announcements that will let you know about some ways to get involved in the life of the church. Our monthly service offering. Nominations are now open for the 2025 monthly service offerings. These offerings are collected during services on the second Sunday of the month. Each member of First UU may nominate one nonprofit social justice organization that promotes our UU values in the larger community. These nominations are due by December 5th, and the forms are available at the stewardship table in Housen Hall. There will be a social action planning meeting. The council would like to invite you to a short planning session after the service today from 12:30 to 1:30 in room 13. We will begin the discussion on how we can best respond to the risks on the horizon in 2025, including how we can most effectively advocate for our values during the legislative session. On Saturday, December 7th, from 5:30 to 8:30, right here at First UU, please join us for a celebration of queer resilience, featuring a conversation with author Nico Lang. Their new book, American Teenager, chronicles the experiences of trans and gender-expansive youth in the U.S. There will be copies of his book available for purchase and probably signing, queer affirming organizations tabling, a conversation with the author, and followed by a dance party. We'd love to have as many people as possible show up to support queer and trans youth. This event is open to all ages, and it is also open to allies and the public, so please come, bring a friend. We'll be happy to see you and party with you. On December 15th, after the worship service at 1 o'clock, will be our December congregational meeting. It'll also be on Zoom for those of you who can't be here in person. Be sure to check the list to make sure that you are correctly listed as a current member if you would like to vote. And this meeting will mostly be about changing some bylaws and adopting the budget for 2025. Each Sunday, one of our caring companions is designated to be available in the sanctuary after the service to listen to any immediate pastoral needs and assist you with connecting to additional pastoral support if you would like. Today's caring companion is Rob Ruff. Rob, could you please stand up and wave so we could all thank you and see who you are? And finally, on each Sunday, we light candles in the sanctuary and along the windows to mark those sacred moments in our lives. Although we do have a time set aside during worship to note these candle lightings, you are invited to light the candles at any time before or during service when you feel moved to do so. Now, let all who have gathered in beloved community, whether in virtual space or in person, join our spirits in worship together. Good morning. Whether you are joining us online or here in the sanctuary, welcome to First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin, Texas. We are a spiritual community dedicated to a free and responsible search for truth, meaning, and beauty. I am the Reverend Michelle LaGrave, your co-lead interim minister. I am wearing glasses and have short hair, and also wearing a bright blue shirt and a blue stole today. My pronouns are she, her, and it is a joy to be with all of you today. It is also a joy to extend a very special welcome to the Reverend Meg Barnhouse and Reverend Kiya Heartwood. We are clearly, everyone is so excited to have you here, and I am so excited to have both of you here. For those of you who might be new and don't know, Reverend Meg is your most recent settled minister who retired a couple of years ago, and she is your minister emerita. And Kiya is the minister out in Bryan, College Station area. Which town is the church actually in? UU Church of the Brazos Valley. And they will be singing today too, right? Yeah, you're both going to sing, right? Yeah, so extra special treat. We've got both of them. Yay. I also want to especially welcome you if you are new to the congregation. If you are joining us remotely, and if you can, please say hello in the comments and let us know from where you are viewing the service. If you are here in person, please join us for the social hour after worship. And also, you may have noticed there is a Women in Fair Trade Festival going on right now. We'd love to have you participate in that as well. If you haven't already done all your holiday shopping, there's lots of good stuff. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, wherever you find yourself on your life's journey, whichever your pronouns, whomever your ancestors, whatever your abilities or disabilities, whether you've walked in or rolled in or joined in, whomever you love, you are welcome here. You belong here. We come from a long tradition of seeing a spark of the divine in every person. It's in this tradition, this living tradition, that I invite you to greet the holy among us, either in the comments or by turning to those around you. Now, let us greet the holy in each other. Let us all come back together once again. I know you could spend the whole hour greeting each other. I love that this congregation loves to be together and greet each other. Please join me in the words for the chalice lighting. This is the flame we hold in our hearts as we strive for justice for everyone. This is the light we shine upon systems of oppression until they are no more. This is the warmth we share with one another as our struggle becomes our salvation. Our opening words this morning come from Rebecca Solnit. Leave the door open for the unknown, the door into the dark. That's where the most important things come from, where you yourself came from, and where you will go. Now let us rise together, either in body or spirit, and join in singing our opening hymn, number 1059, May Your Life Be as a Song.
And just to make things interesting, let's sing through once, all together, and then I'm going to take this half of the room with my friends over here, and Kiya's going to take that half, and we'll go somewhere with it.
One of the things that binds First UU together as a religious community is that the congregation has a common purpose. For First UU, that common purpose is the mission. The congregation wrote it together and put it up on the wall in big, bold letters. Every Sunday, we say it together so that we may more readily carry it with us in our hearts throughout the week. Let us say it together now. Together, we nourish souls, transform lives, and do justice to build the beloved community.
Too many cups and scars here. It's like I'm left out in the rain. I like to think I'm healing, but I'm just not the same. I pour the gold into the cracks to make a stronger seam. I keep studying the lessons, but I don't know what they mean. Point me to the Badlands. Drums will heal us if they can. I am your dog soldier. Here I'll make my stand. A crown of stars above our heads, native to this land. And the Badlands. Our love is so consistent, honest, real, and true. When I lose my direction, I point my heart to you. You're my steady compass, you're my guiding hand in the Badlands. Maybe we're all broken, future's done and said, discarded and discounted, won't believe we are finished yet. Can we make a rally, come back from behind, keep our heading steady one more time? Point me to the Badlands. Drums will heal us if they can. I am your dog soldiers. Here we make our stand. A crown of stars above our heads, native to this land. In the Badlands. Always love the desert, such a deeper sky. Oh, bless us in this darkness, bless us as we try. We carry so much beauty, fire in your eyes. Badlands, help us out. Point me to the Badlands. Drums will heal us if they can. I am your dog soldier. Here we'll make our stand. A crown of stars above our heads, native to this land. In the Badlands. In the Badlands. Last time. In the Badlands.
Good morning. My name is Kinsey Shackelford, and I'd like to invite all the young people to come up, join me on the steps right here as we listen to the story for all ages. Come on up. I'm so glad you're here. Here, let's sit right here so that we're not near the cords. Let's sit right here on this, right here. Oh, good. Reverend Kiya is going to join us. Amazing. Okay. So my name is Kinsey, like I said. I use she, her pronouns. I am a white 30-year-old woman with reddish, blondish hair and a UT dress. Hook 'em. So today things are going to be a little bit different. Today we are going to read a story, and you're going to help me tell it. And you all can follow along, and if you all would like to follow along, and if our friends at home would like to follow along too, that would be perfect. Before we begin, I want to say a very special hello and we miss you to our friends who live in Portugal now. Their names are Quinn and Eli. Can we all wave? Let's wave to the camera and say, hi, we miss you. All right. Okay, so if you see my hands move, I want you to move your hands the same way. Let's try it. Ready? Oh, y'all are good at this. Okay. I'm not worried. All right, so long ago, fire, water, truth, and falsehood lived together in one large house. Although all were polite toward each other, they kept their distance. Truth and falsehood sat on opposite sides of the room, and fire constantly leapt out of water's path. One day, they all went hunting together. They found a large number of cattle and began taking them home to their village. Let's share these cattle equally, for this is the fair way to divide them, said Truth. And no one disagreed with Truth except for, what's the opposite of truth? Do you know? Falsehood. Falsehood wanted more than an equal share, but kept quiet about it for a moment. As the 4 hunters traveled back to the village, can you have them travel back to the village? Very good. Falsehood went secretly to water and whispered. You know, whenever you're trying to not let someone hear, yes, 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 you whisper like this. Very good. He whispered, you are more powerful than fire. Destroy fire, and then there will be more cattle for us. So, water flowed over fire, bubbling and steaming until fire was gone. The water meandered along, cheerfully thinking about more cattle for itself. Falsehood, meanwhile, whispered to Truth, look! See for yourself. Water has destroyed fire. Let us leave water who has cruelly destroyed our warm-hearted friend. We must take the cattle high in the mountains to graze. As Truth and Falsehood traveled up the mountain like this, water tried to follow, but the mountain was too steep and water could not flow up. Water washed down upon itself, splashing and swirling around the rocks as it tumbled down the slope. Water is still tumbling down the mountainside to this day. Truth and Falsehood arrived at the mountaintop. Falsehood turned to Truth and said in a loud voice, I am more powerful than you. You will be my servant, and I am your master. All the cattle belong to me. But Truth rose up and spoke out, I will not be your servant. They battled and battled. Finally, they brought the argument with wind. What kind of hand motion do you think we should do for wind? I'm taking suggestions. Ooh, I like this. Let's do this for wind. They brought the argument up with the wind. But the wind didn't know. Wind blew all over the world to ask people whether truth or falsehood was more powerful. What do you think? You think truth is more powerful? We'll see. Some people said, a single word of falsehood can completely destroy truth. But then a small group of others insisted, like a small candle in the dark, truth can change every situation. And the wind agreed. He returned to the mountain and said, I have seen falsehood is very powerful, but it can rule only where truth has stopped struggling to be heard. And it has been that way ever since. And what I love about this story is it reminds us the power that truth-telling has, even when it's only done by a few voices. And it makes me think of the Thanksgiving holiday, which is right around the corner. And while a lot of us might be looking forward to gathering with our friends and our families and enjoying yummy foods, that's fun, right? It's important also to acknowledge the need to be truthful on how this holiday was built. And when it comes to what the grown-ups are talking about this month, which is repair, so many brave and wise voices have been lifted up, telling the importance of the true Thanksgiving story. So, in the days and weeks ahead, many of us, kids and adults alike, can keep a lookout for all of the false stories around us, and remembering that even the tiniest voice of truth can bring healing and bring light to the darkness. Now, let's go out on the playground with our friends. I will meet you right there at the back doors. You ready? Okay, let's go.
Co-leader of the stewardship team. My pronouns are she, her. I have gray hair, I'm wearing glasses, and a yellow construction hat as our stewardship theme is building beloved community. The good news is that we're at 98.5% of the 2025 stewardship goal of $825,000. So close. However, we still need an additional $12,000 to complete the match and fund our 2025 budget by December 8th. The congregational vote on this is on December 15th at 1 p.m. Thank you so much to everyone who has pledged, increased their pledge, and or contributed to the match campaign. We need to reach $825,000 to not have to cut additional staff. This budget has 2 half-time positions left open compared to last year. The church's insurance bill has almost tripled for 2025. This budget is lean. It's critical that we get to the goal, and we're so very close to the finish line. With new folks visiting every week and prospective co-ministers checking us out, it's imperative that we show financial stability. We're doing that in 2 ways: by paying off our existing mortgage and having a fully funded stewardship campaign. If you haven't pledged for 2025, it's not too late. If you haven't committed an additional pledge amount for 2025, please be as generous as you're able. If you have committed more and can reach just a little bit further, it'll help us get to goal. You can give by using the QR code in the order of service, or by going to austinuu.org and clicking the link that's on the front page. Or stop by the stewardship table after church today, where we've moved. We are going to be at the very back of the gallery, and we'll also have the monthly service offering forms to, if you're wanting to choose, wanting to nominate a not-for-profit. Together, we are building the beloved community. Please be as generous as you can. We're almost there. Thank you.
You all have heard me speak about the necessity of thinking about stewardship and pledging as a spiritual practice many times. I recently heard a story Leo Cullis told about Emily Wheelockhausen and how she thought about the giving that she did, which was hundreds of thousands of dollars over her lifetime, which, I don't know, probably equals like millions today or something. I'm not good at the inflation math. She thought about her giving in terms of making investments. So in terms of myself, I've been thinking about that a lot, about a spiritual practice of making investments, investing in communities that I believe in and that we really, really need right now. We are all still feeling the effects post-election, and this is I said before, I'm a little bit disinterested since I'm leaving. So I'm saying this not as a staff person or someone bringing in a salary, but this place is critical. We really, really need this place around in 2025 and on into the future. So if you can think about investing some more or at all in this community, we would really, really appreciate it. And for today, it is time for our offering. This is the time when we commit to the mission and ministries of the church by making an offering. We give out of our own so that together we might build a better world, a safer world. If you are new or visiting with us today, please allow the plate to pass you by. You are our guests. Those of you who are able, you can give in a few different ways by going to austinuu.org and clicking on the link on the top right side of the page, or by texting your contributions to 84321, or by placing an offering in the basket that the ushers are about to pass. Here in the sanctuary, the ushers will now collect the offering. Your offerings have been given in love and received with gratitude. Now is the time in our service when we center ourselves together. We breathe together. And breathing together, we sense one another's loving presence. Breathing in and breathing out. We follow a breath to a deeper place inside, a place of greater wisdom, a place where a spark of the divine resides within each of us. Continuing to breathe together, we enter into a time of sacred silence, all the while remembering that nowhere is the world fully silent. Amen, and blessed be. I invite you now to light a candle if you are so moved. Candles representing sorrow, joy, hope, remembrance, resilience. Whatever it is that you need to honor during this time. As we light candles, I invite you to keep in your mind and heart members of our community who are ill or in sorrow. Please send good karma to Mike Harris as he entered a Lilly pharmaceutical health study at the Houston Heart Hospital a couple of weeks ago to help keep him healthy per doctor's orders. And also those who are celebrating joys. Let us hold the silence together throughout this meditative time.
Exhale joy
And we light one more candle for all those for whom there is no one to light a candle.
Hello. Kiya and I are so thrilled to be here. It's wonderful to see you all again. We live in Bryan College Station now. Reverend Kiya is the minister of the Brazos Valley UU Church, and it's growing. It's got about 100 members and 33 children. And we have a lot of ex-Mormons, hence all the children. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And so we used to go swimming before I got a little bit sicker. We used to go swimming at the adult rec center there, and I'm in the pool, and there are all these older ladies in there, so it's a bunch of us older ladies in there. And it's kind of echoey in there, but everybody shouts, so, you can hear each other. And they were talking loudly about all the different kinds of cancer they'd had. And they looked at me and they said, "Do you have cancer?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." They said, "Oh, what kind?" And I just said, "Terminal." And they went, "Oh." I'm like, "Yeah." And this lady said, "I had a miracle healing." And I said, "You did? Tell me about it." And she said, "Well, I had cancer inside my belly, and the doctor said he might find it everywhere else. He didn't know. And then when he went in to look, he just found a couple little places, and he took them out, and now I don't have cancer anymore, so that's a miracle." And I was like, She said, "Can I pray for you?" And I said, "Okay." So I had managed to get out of the pool, so I'm sitting in my wheelchair, and she comes over and she puts her hand on me, I think just on my arm, not on my head or my shoulder, which would be very irritating. But she prayed that I would have a miracle. And that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. And I have this neighbor who comes over. She's a wonderful cook, and she's like a very slender yoga teacher looking person. And she uses essential oils and things like that. And she cooks for people. She's a home chef. And so she always brings over some flowers from her yard, which is gorgeous, and some soup or whatever, and it's really good. And pretty far, at the first part of our friendship, she asked if she could pray for me. Because she says to me with very intense eyes, "Jesus is real, Meg. Jesus is real." And I'm like, "Okay, that's it? That's your argument? So, okay." I said, "You know what? You know the parable of the sower where he's throwing seeds to try to grow them on the ground, and some ground is hard packed and the seeds don't come up, and some ground is covered with brambles and the seeds can't come up, and some ground is fertile ground and the seeds can come up." I said, "My heart when it comes to Christianity is hard packed. Hard packed." I said, "People have been over it and 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 over it." I said, "I just can't even hear it anymore, basically." And then after a couple more visits, she has this neighbor that has huge Trump flags in the yard. And she said, "Oh, that's a text from my neighbor." And she put the phone down. I said, "Oh, your Trump neighbor?" Because I had made assumptions. because she was a, sweet, kind of hippie-ish cooking oils person. She said, I'm going to vote for Trump. And I was just like, I felt like I was going to throw up. And so I didn't say anything to her about it. And then I texted her and said, I promise not to argue with you. If you can come over and just give me your reasoning. I promise just to sit and listen, because I just want to hear why somebody I respect, that I think is nice and kind, is going to vote for that man. And so she agreed to do that, and we had that talk and whatever. And so it turns out she is just a willingly underinformed voter. Willingly underinformed. She doesn't watch the news. She watches YouTube news. And she just didn't want to know about anything but pro-life. She didn't want to know. And so I'm just not sure this friendship is going to survive. But I hear people say, you should be friends with people whose views differ from yours. I just don't know. Kiya doesn't want her in the house, which I think is reasonable. Anyway, so what did you say? Oh, somebody said something. It was funny. Oh. Anyway, sorry, I keep hitting this mic. And she kept telling me to be open to miracles. And then this Rebecca Solnit quote that Reverend Michelle read in the morning, in the first part of the service, was, she said, open the door to the unknown, to darkness. And I feel guilty in myself, because I think maybe she means keep the door open for miracles. And people really want me to believe in miracles. They really want it. And they keep saying, you're going to get better. And I'm just like, what? It's hard on the doctors when I do that. Because they're so hopeful and they just don't know what to do. But I don't think people know how painful it is to leave the door open for miracles. To think that there's a miracle somehow just hanging over your head that could come down sometime and make you well. I find it much more deepening to leave the door open and explore acceptance and living every day with as much love as I can live. There's a woman at our church who used to be a nun for 14 years. She's got a very peaceful aspect. She says she prays for me, which is okay. I love her. And I asked her the other day how she prays for me, what she means when she says she prays for me. And she just said, she went like this with her hands. I just lift you up. And Kiya, I pray for you and Kiya at the same time because you're one. I lift you up and just ask that you be surrounded with strength and courage and love. And I'm like, thank you. That's really good. Because she's not like self-aggrandizing, like, I am going to heal you and pray for you. I had a bad experience when I was younger in seminary. I think I've told you all this story before, where my mother was very sick with cancer. She was about 3 months from dying. And this minister from a church in Philadelphia came out and we had a prayer circle. They had a prayer circle for her with all the people that were there. And this minister said, if you don't have the faith that she could be healed right now, you could ruin our prayer. And I, being in the middle year of seminary where you lose your faith completely, everybody does it, I gritted my teeth and I got up and left. I'm still mad about it. Because of course it didn't work. It didn't work. seems like there are a lot of rules like that about praying. I mean, I was a really good prayer when I was a kid. I remember one time when I was little, I was in bed, put to bed at my Aunt Mabel's house, and there were a bunch of, cousins and old adults sitting in the room, in the living room. And I had prayed and prayed and prayed for what seemed like a really long time. I just covered everybody. And I was so excited that I padded out to the living room in my nightgown, and I said, I just prayed for an hour. And I was so disappointed because they were all like, okay, good, yeah, go to bed. Go to bed. And I heard a lot about praying when I was growing up. Associate Reformed Presbyterian, and then Presbyterian. I went to InterVarsity when I was in college. And they had rules. I mean, you had to have this much praise at the beginning of the prayer, and then you had to have adoration, and then you had to have intercession where you prayed for other people, and then some more praise, and then you could ask for things for yourself, and then I can't even remember all the rules. But you had to have a pure heart and no doubts. And I just thought, I'm in big trouble. I don't even know what a pure heart is. I don't even know anybody who has one. A pure heart. And so all those rules felt fake. And it felt like superstition. And it felt like they were praying to this God who was supposedly a God of love, and who would sit up there in heaven and go, I could heal you, but I'm not going to. Even though I love you and I am love, I'm not going to, because you haven't prayed properly. And I'm just going to wait here until you pray properly, and then maybe I'll heal you, and maybe I won't. And I just thought, that God is not the one I want to believe in. I don't like that. And I had a client one time who was also a Presbyterian, and she said, I just feel like God is waiting for me to leave a loophole in my prayers. So I pray for each of my children, for each step along the way for them. And I pray that, that they would be safe going to the school bus, and safe on the school bus, and then safe going to class, and then safe in class. And then if I forget to pray for any part of their day, I feel like God's going to use that as a loophole and just hurt my child. I was like, Jesus. Help this lady. She was really worshiping a mean God. And I think a lot of people do. I know that your belief does have a lot to do with what your body does. It can. I think if there are certain people in the medical field who just say, this person got better, I don't understand how. But I don't think it happens a lot. But I think, if you believe hard enough, maybe, I don't know, it can help you. But that's not available to me. And I watched this show called Rituals Around the World, and I watched these beautiful people in a South American country, I think it was Guatemala. And they had paid a lot of money to go to this miracle lake. And they had a shaman there who was working with them. And just the hope in their eyes and the belief in their eyes was striking. And I thought, he had lots of blankets on, and then he would rattle the rattles, and then he had a mouthful of rum that he would spit on the people. And then they would go wash in the lake. And I thought, I really hope that the people who have that culture in their blood and bones can have enough belief so that that'll work for them. I am a white lady from the United States in my late 60s, and I just can't wash that off. And so I worried that, you put yourself in certain situations when you're watching rituals and whatever. I just put myself in there, and I'd be sitting there like this. So I don't want to go there because I don't want to ruin it for them. And I admired that. I yearned for that kind of hope in a ritual. And I would love to believe in a world that's full of magic, and I kind of do. I mean, I've had prayers work before. I've had making an altar for something work before. Not always work the way I thought it was going to work, but... And yet, this whole praying for healing thing is confusing for me. But I feel like it goes with my view of God. And so my view of the... Damn it, sorry. So I think of God as a river of love running through the universe. And I think that this is my belief. You don't have to believe this at all. But I feel like every act of lovingness, of loving kindness between humans and animals, between humans and plants and trees, water, rocks, between animals and each other, all love is added to that river of love. And that in that way we help create God by adding love to that river of love. And so I figured that I would just say yes to being prayed for, even if it's not by someone that I love already. And I'm going to think of it as getting a little splash from the river of love. That those people they mean it in a loving way, most of them, I think. If somebody like that minister came to pray for me and said everybody had to get out that didn't believe it, I would say you need to get out because this is ridiculous. But most people don't do that to me. So the ones who say they want to pray for me, I'm like, okay. I'm sorry to go off on this tangent, but so I was telling one of the people at our church, who's this woman who is trans and a philosophy major, so she's like prodigious in her thinking. And I said, what would you do if somebody said they were going to pray for you? And she said, I would say that's fine, I just want to lead the prayer. And I said, how would you lead it? And she would say, I'd grasp their hands and I'd go, Hail, Satan. I wasn't going to tell you about that, but now I have. I'm not going to do that to anybody. And so this song that I wrote, All Will Be Well, that is my number one hit across the UU world. I wrote it 25 years ago, a long time ago, and I've had people write to me about it, like how it's helped them, or their questions about it, or things like that, which means a lot to me. And so, excuse me. I say at the end, love never ends. And I see people who are listening kind of go, really? Because I've had love end. And what I'm saying, I think, Kiya will say this is true, and I'm sure Brent too, or whoever of y'all writes songs. Sometimes you write a song and you just don't know what it's about until years later. And so I figured out, the more I thought about it, that the song was about the river of love and how love never ends because the river's always going to be there, because people are always going to be loving each other, loving their animal companions, and loving their friends, and the animals are going to be loving each other, you can just go on TikTok and see lots of animal friends. Not that I go on TikTok. And so I've been having this argument with St. Julian of Norwich for a long time, and I'd love for you to sing with me. I just lay out to her all the things that are wrong in the world, and she says, all will be well, and all will be well, and all manner of things will be well. So let's sing it now. First, we're going to practice the chorus together. All will be well. Where are we going? Where are we? There we go. All will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. I said, Julian, you are holy. You are holding my hand, and Julian, you are holy. You are holding my hand. And she said, all will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. And I said, Julian, do you not know about sorrow? And Julian, do you not know about pain? And I said, Julian, do you not know about hunger? And Julian, do you not know about shame? She said, all will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. And I said, Julian, do you not know about loneliness? And Julian, do you not know about disease? And I said, Julian, do you not know about cruelty? I said, Julian, it's too much. It's brought me to my knees. But she said, all will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. And she said, no one does not know about sorrow, Maggie. No one does not know about pain. And she said, no one does not know about hunger, and no one does not know about shame. She said, all will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. She said, no one does not know about loneliness, and no one does not know about disease. And she said, no one does not know about cruelty. She said, I know, it's too much. It brought me to my knees, where I heard, all will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. And she said, baby girl, do you not know about tenderness? And baby girl, do you not know about friends? And she said, baby girl, do you not know about the Spirit? And she said, baby girl, do you not know the only love that never ends? Only love never ends. And so all will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well. And so all will be well. all will be well, all manner of things will be well. Thank you so much for singing with me.
Now let us together say the words in unison to the extinguishing of our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we hold in our hearts until we are together again.
Closing reading is from Rebecca Solnit again. To be lost is to be fully present. And to be fully present is to be capable of being in uncertainty and mystery. And one does not get lost, but loses oneself, with the implication that it is a conscious choice, a chosen surrender. Please sing the benediction with me if you care to. Remember the way of the wind, and breathe and blow. Remember the way of the fire, and sparkle and glitter and glow. Remember the way of the water, and ebb and flow. Remember the way of the earth and grow. Go in peace.